so much for being here and just for watching my channel, for watching a video. I just appreciate very much. So thank you. And for letting me read for you. It is always an honor. So again, thank you for this chance. We are doing a reading on a change in career is coming your way. So what change in career is coming your way? What are you essentially manifesting that you want out of career and, finances and growth, and just what more do you want and need out of this professional space in your life? So we have 4 crystal cards here, and I do know the names of these ones, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you. This is pyrite, which is one of my favorites. This is a diamond, perfect for manifesting tons of beautiful, expensive things. And this is copper, and this is jet, which I don't know a whole lot about, but just really 4 beautiful cards, and I want you to pick your pile, and this is going to be your reading, and we're going to get right into it. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye. Welcome to my channel. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and we are doing a reading for a change in career is coming your way, and I think I'm going to put an emphasis on what are you manifesting and what do you want, and where do you just want your professional direction to go? You picked pyrite, beautiful. I think it's been called fool's gold, but it's always one of my favorite crystals in the shop. It is, I always love it so much. Okay, and I picked 2 cards ahead of time for Oracle, and I have this one deck called the Untamed Elemental, and I got Lion, and then I have another deck which name is escaping me, but and we got Pure Nature, number 7. So just starting, Lion is about, Lion's fire. It is the king. It is just the highest form of like order and power and balance and unity and kind of like goodness, but with this emphasis on force and getting things done. I just feel like when I see the Lion card, something tells me that you need to be in a position of, you need to be in a leadership role. And there's something, and we'll see where this goes, but this definitely makes me think of you in your element. You are a bold, strong, perhaps fearless, but really like honest, kind, good leader. There's, you strive for equality, and you are very, I think, very good and good at what you do. So I want to see you in one card. I might turn over like card by card to get an idea of this, because I really want to get to what you're manifesting and what you want. So almost a little bit less of exactly where you are, but I kind of want to try to get into your head a little bit here. And then I'll get into this Pure Nature card and see where that plays in. But okay, I want to see you professionally in one card. And so for the most part, anything with pentacles, when we're talking professionally speaking, is a very good sign. And the 6 of Pentacles it's a card of not only like sharing your wealth, but the point I think is that you have it to share. There is either opportunity is coming to you in the form of like an investment, a down payment, someone investing in you quite literally financially, or it is the sign of you just having enough money to spend towards what you need right now at this point in your life. So, but seeing this card makes me think that what you want to do, there would have to be either resources that you have been already squirreling away for this, or there's going to be someone that you can kind of lean on for these resources. But it does make me think you'd be going out on your own. And I somehow you would be, I don't know if it's like starting your own practice or kind of going in a direction where you'd be maybe taking clients in your own capacity away from a company or starting something new, but you're definitely going to be in a leadership role. I see you being someone who is like, you're in charge, and you could be running the whole show. It could be just you for now, or if you are going in with other people. I just feel like there's very much this emphasis on you are very good at creating and maintaining order. This is truly a gift of yours, and I do get the feeling that you would be starting something in this way. But coming up with the 6 of Pentacles right away makes me think that there is something needed financially. But don't despair. If you're here, I I believe that you either have this, you're aware of this. This isn't like something, it doesn't shock you to hear this. This is common knowledge. People know it. You know it. You've been thinking about it. And I don't think that attaining it would be your biggest problem, or any problem really. But let's see. And this pure nature card, this pure nature is the title to this woman here. She's, like a flower child or something. But this is really it's just about innocence. It's about beauty, and it's about natural gifts. There's an emphasis on this card on like, you are, you're one with the flower, you're one with nature. There's something here about like, your beauty really does come from within, and that could also be your strength comes from within. Like your talents, your drive, the things that really, your essence, it's there. And I know it's kind of a stretch to connect it to lion, but I feel more with this lion card where I feel like you definitely, you're strong. You have a certain strength, and I think that strength really comes through in a way where you're very clear. I think you're probably kind. I think you, when I say you treat people equally, like I feel like in a management role, you'd be very good. You'd be very good about like just working with a lot of people at once if need be, or I see natural talents there for you in that capacity. And let's see a little bit more about you. I'm trying to work around this glare. Okay, so we have the Emperor, which I'm going to put right down here. And I mean, what a card to really highlight in a card what it would be like to be in like, a position of power. This is definitely the king of, I don't know if back then when they had emperors, it was really a concrete jungle, but like, this is king. This is the person, the man, the woman, the being that is just all knowing, all powerful. And really in a perfect world, this is someone who's very good. This is someone who's kind, someone who wants to help. And I really see the connection there with the lion card. And in this new like career change, there's something to me where I really think it's important that you're going to have to maintain this level of goodness. And I'm trying to think of the word, and I don't know if it's like equanimity, and I want to say that, but if I might be totally off. But there's this evenness, this honesty, this state of like neutrality almost that you're going to have to maintain while being, like a manager, a boss, someone that people turn to, someone that people need things from. And I just, there's a strength to you and a goodness. There's just a goodness. And in the Emperor card, I would love to see the Empress come up, because that would mean there's really, truly perfect harmony and balance here. But for this reading, we almost don't even need that. This isn't a relationship. We don't need to see like the two perfect counterparts. I have enough information here with the Emperor and the Lion and the Six of Pentacles to see you truly in a position of, for lack of a better word, power, but just, that word will come to me and will be good. Let me see another situation with you. Okay, so the World, which is really, the word here they've given to the world. Oh my goodness, the word they've given to the world here is motivation. But I really do think this is something you've wanted for a while, or this is a skill of yours that you've been developing, but I don't think I think you've worked on it, but this is a natural skill for you. You've either always naturally been kind of like a mediator or someone that people turn to for like that high level input. And just, and I don't know. Okay, so you could climb up in the position you're in. This is always an option. But something about the World card, it does make me think, and also with the Six of Pentacles, because it makes me think there's this amount of money or investment or upfront something that's needed. And it also does imply that there's this one phase is changing, another one is beginning. And I do think that with the World, you're entering this new beginning, and it is going to be a little bit of everything. It's going to be just like any new career path would be. It's equal parts exciting, terrifying, gratifying. It's all sorts of things that are good, bad, and otherwise. But it is truly, I think, your path, and I think you're ready, and I think you've wanted this for yourself. Like, something about this feels very right and organic for you. It isn't something you've been pushed into. It isn't something that everyone wants except for you. I really think this is, and it's you doing this, not just because it's a way to make money and a way to like do something different and exciting. That's not just it. It's because you're really playing to your talents and your strengths. You're really realizing like, this is what I'm good at. This is where I fit and belong. I'm going to find my place professionally and just apply that. And I do really think you've been manifesting this in the way that I think you've been thinking in the back of your head, like, what am I good at? Where do I truly shine? What are my strengths? And you're taking these little mental notes day to day because you see where you really make the biggest impact. And it does come when you're working with others and when you have to just kind of like size up situations and people and, there could be large amounts of money or product or, I don't know, contracts. Like it does feel like there's a responsibility here. There's a weight to it. Whatever line of business you've been in, I do think that it's been pretty lofty in a lot of ways. And I think it's a big deal. And that's why I think when you do go in on your own, let's say, or kind of just take a step away from the structure of like a company or what you've been doing now, it is going to require a little bit of capital. There's going to be something there that you're going to need some money for, but I think you know that, and it's not this like overwhelming bad thing. So let's see a couple more cards too. I want to see what you've been manifesting and where your head's been. So we've got the Chariot, which is movement basically, and the Eight of Wands, which is communication. So with these two cards, I feel pretty strongly that this is something you've been absolutely now. There's a very clear message that you've been wanting this. I think this is something you've been wanting maybe since you were a kid, or it's not. So, okay, let me put it this way. Maybe there's two things you're thinking of. Maybe you're like, okay, I could do this, or I could do this, or I could go into a line of business or some career path, and I could also incorporate a little bit of this. But I want to say that if you have options or questions or like a choice to make with like two different or multiple facets of this, the one that you've always wanted, the one that resonates with you like from when you were a child or from when you first started really working, that's the one you need to focus on right now. It's this thing that's been kind of driving you all along. And like some people, they've always known they're very, very good at sales. They're a natural salesman. Like that is definitely a very real thing. And this could be you going into real estate and being like, I know I can do this. Like I am so ready for this. Maybe I've been an assistant to a realtor and I'm going to go out on my own and finally do real estate. Like, and if that's not it, because what are the chances that that's it for everyone? But that's a pretty good like example of how that structure would play out. There's you going off on your own and really representing other people who need you in a very like fair, honest, good, communicative way. And this is like, it's a draw for you. You've been pulled. This is your path. This is your direction. And it feels very, very organic and very good. And there is something beautiful about it. And now like there could be a beautiful aesthetic piece to this. Like there might be something about this that you enjoy because it brings you peace internally, like in this kind of beautiful, harmonious way. It might be aesthetically pleasing. It might, something about this there's a beauty component here. And okay, if you're a realtor, yes, maybe you love looking at the houses. Maybe that's the piece of this that really feeds you. And there's so many other examples, but that's just the one to kind of paint a picture of how this could work. But I really do see that it's something you've wanted for a long time. And if you've been manifesting something, if you always go back to this one thought, if you were, even in third grade and you thought about this or whatever, it really is here. And the Eight of Wands really, really backs that up. I mean, the Eight of Wands is a card of like all your kind of energy and fire going towards this one thing. Like it is your time. It is your time to act. It is your time to like really let the universe send you those signals and those signs. Like you are starting to get these signs and these signals, which would tell you either it's time to act or a little bit of like, I don't know, if you're waiting for a sign of like a location to do this or a a certain aesthetic to maybe like do your logo with or your website or something. I just feel like you're getting signs that are really pointing you, like just backing up the fact that yes, it's time, I should be doing this, and here we go. And it is something, again, it's just, it's you running the show, and it's you being the top dog. You're your own, you're definitely your own boss in a lot of ways. But you're handling a lot of different things, and it's probably you starting your own business and taking it all on, and it is terrifying. But if this is what you wanted, I see it for you. And I guess so far I just realized that I've only really kind of confirmed what you want, or what you know you want, and you really know you want this. But the point of this reading is like, if this is coming up, this is the change. It is happening. This is actually happening. So it's not just to say like, oh yeah, you do want this. Like, great, now we know you want that. Like, no, this is to say like, this is kind of a gift from spirit and a nudge to be like, okay, now's your time, do it. Like, you're ready, and you will succeed. I'm getting all the messages that like, this is where you should be, and it makes sense. So, let's see a little bit more about what your future could look like here. And I'm going to put, okay, so this is the Two of Cups, and I know it's really frustrating, but we have the Two of Cups here, and very much a card of partnerships, union, and it's hard not to, for me, the Two of Cups, it's not so much a card about work or progress in work necessarily, although it could absolutely be like that of two partners collaborating and coming together and contracts, sure. But I really see this as a card to say that this line of work, this path you're taking, is going to also really work with like a love interest or with a relationship. This is going to be like a very harmonious balance for you to strike, to be in a relationship with. And I know that sounds pretty like, I don't know if I communicated that in a way that was like super exciting, but I do see this as being an exciting direction for you, and having doors open to love. And if you've been in a position where you've been pulled in many directions, you've been busy, you've been stressed, there isn't always time for that, but I think you're going to have time for it now. I think a relationship is absolutely going to be something you can incorporate into your future, and in a very loving way. I see good things for you. Relationship speaking. And if you're in a relationship or you're married, then I just see that this is really going to be a very positive thing for you. Romantically speaking, it's really going to help your bond and your union, and it's probably going to make both of you just so much happier and build your relationship. So a very positive card to speak to like the love and just the positivity coming off of this. I'm going to get a message from Spirit. It's going to be like a quote about this. Kind of just input from her. Let's see what she has to say about this. And we'll go from there. Okay, so she says live life to the fullest. And I do think this will allow you to live life to the fullest, but I do think you doing this is you living life to the fullest. I think just you not abandoning, but when I say abandoning, I mean leaving something behind, one door closing, another opening, in that capacity. Like, you're leaving something for something else, and you're not leaving anyone high and dry. I'm sure people will be sorry to see you go, but you're starting something that is so exciting, and it's so totally all about you. And it really is kind of like going to be kicking off your life and your direction. And I think it will allow you to completely live life to the fullest. And I am going to say there is this romantic piece to it, that just a very positive message to give you confirmation that you should be doing this, and that it is going to be the right move for you. So yeah, whatever that move is, I would love to know if you have a comment on it. And these readings, it's so easy for me to read about love and relationships. It comes very naturally to me, but when I step out of that, which I'm pushing myself to do, I get kind of hung up on my words, but I always see the message. I always see what I'm trying to say. It just can be very hard for me to put it with a word. So if this felt kind of like I was pulling the words out or like low energy, it really isn't what I'm truly feeling. It's just kind of I'm trying to get more comfortable in these types of readings. But yeah, I see you in a position of power, your own boss, your own company, your own direction, your own thing, like your own show. And yes, I do think there will be, if not immediately, like the opportunity for you to manage and have like teams or territories or something along those lines that you work with these other people. And I do think there's this part of like fairness and goodness that you're going to have to somehow like inject into this role. It isn't just like, I don't just think you're going to be an artist or something. I think there's more to it. There's a little more complexity from like a studied standpoint. This isn't purely a talent. However, it is a natural talent that you've had, and it's been a natural progression for you, and it's been something you kind of moved towards and gravitated towards. And yes, it's your time, it's your calling, it's what you should be doing. So I hope this spoke to you. I hope that recap kind of said everything that I took almost 20 minutes to say, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. So please let me know, and I look forward to seeing a comment from you. Thank you very much, or subscribe, whatever feels good, and I appreciate any of it. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you so much for being to my channel. This is Light and Bone Tarot, for letting me read for you. I just thank you. So this is a reading for a change in career is coming your way, and you picked diamond, which seems so appropriate for anything to do with, I don't know, career, money, but beautiful. And this makes me feel like when you get to go look for diamonds in a field, which I've never done, but I've always wanted to. I feel like this is what people find, like the lucky ones that make the news or something. Okay, so to start off with this reading, so Moth is the card I picked of this elemental tarot or elemental oracle deck, and moth in this deck is like basically moth, like a moth to a flame. A moth goes towards the light, and with that there's this kind of, the theme I'm getting here is this, oh my gosh, someone who like seeks out honesty, sincerity, truth. Definitely something here. There's like a spiritual component to me. And bear with me, it doesn't mean you're going into like a heavily spiritual field, but there's something here of like you are seeking your truth. This is something that you feel very passionately about, very drawn to. This isn't like a willy-nilly, I woke up one day and thought I was going to do this, and if it did kind of spring itself on you, which is fine, it feels so totally now, like with every ounce of your being, that you have to be doing this. Like you are so totally and utterly drawn to this. This is truly, I would say, a passion project for you, but something that feels like in your core, it feels right, it feels good, and also it just feels like you feel really lit up and lifted from this. Like there's this otherworldly component where there's just this mystical kind of component or quality to it. And this card, the Journey from the Oracle of Mystical Moments, is really, it's about these very beautiful, simple pleasures that we take for granted. It's about simplicity, beauty in the simplicity. They give the example of like appreciating the feeling of grass under your feet. And something about this direction you're taking, yeah, it's like how a diamond is just so clear and brilliant, and it's just crystal clear to you. This is what you need to be doing. So whatever that is, I'm not sure. But I think it might be a gift or a talent you have. And they also said in the card, this had something to do with like stretch, probably in the way that a moth like expands its wings and flaps and stretches. So with that, it could be something to do with like yoga or Pilates or some form of like exercise or healing or movement or dance. There's something very kind of almost woo-woo, spiritual, whimsical about this, but something very beautiful and calm. I get like a very calming vibe off of whatever direction you're going here. So, okay, yeah, let's see a little bit about you right now. So Ace of Pentacles, you may be a lot of things. You may be creative. You may be completely and utterly out there. You may, I mean, who knows? But the Ace of Pentacles is definitely a card to say that like you're not messing around. Like you are, you know what you want and you're going to go after it. The Pentacles are all about like your foundation, your money, your resources. Like this is, so right away with the Pentacles, there's that, you know, your eyes on the prize kind of feeling. And they've given the word luck to this because it's this new beginnings, it's potential. It's kind of this thing that finds you with Pentacles. Like it's a yin energy and it's this, something is coming your way. So yes, luck is absolutely appropriate here. But, and I wish you luck, but I feel like this is, you're not like, you're not like a nitwit, you know, like you definitely, when it comes time to start this, whatever this is, you'll know exactly what to do and you'll go after it. And I guess that's kind of a message here. Like you're not silly. Whatever this is that you feel a passion and a movement towards, it's not random for you. It's not careless. It's not for nothing. It's not insignificant. It's something very real. And it really is like your passion. This is what you are so totally drawn to. It's almost like you've got to do it. And whether or not you've manifested it or if it's just you, it's just in your being, it's there. And I think it makes you very, very happy. So I almost feel like you're moving towards something that makes you very happy. And you've known this for a while, but now you're finally ready to be like, this is what I want to do. And you know, it could be throwing like paint on a canvas. It could be teaching yoga, or I don't know, starting yoga retreats. It could be something like that, which is, you know, sounds like my dream job. Or it could be, I don't know, or it could be writing something that like really, I don't know. There's so many things, right? I could list 1,000 things, I'm sure, although I couldn't just think of 3, but okay, we've got for you the Sun. And with the Sun card, to me, this backs up what I'm saying, that this provides your light. And like a moth to a flame, they will go towards the light. You are literally going towards the light. This is your calling. This is what you feel called to do. And although I do think this brings you a sense of calm, I don't know if this is something that right off the bat is going to be like a giant moneymaker. The Ace of Pentacles tells me that yes, the finances and the money and the fortune will be there, and you are pursuing it. You are going after it. Like this is on your mind. You're not just doing this because you have no other choice, because you absolutely have to, because if you don't, you'll just, you know, perish. But you're also doing it because it does make sense, and this really can be a life plan for you. But yeah, this is your happiness. This is your joy, and you are actively pursuing it. So good for you. I applaud that, and it is truly inspiring and exciting. And let's see a little bit more about what your future looks like here with this. And we have the Knight of Swords, spontaneity. The Knight of Swords is that kind of the epitome of like someone coming in hot, or that energy of just like, so I don't know, kind of over the top. But the swords are their action, whereas the pentacles are kind of receiving. The pentacles are yin. Swords are yang. They're action. They are doing. They are very much like not laying in wait. This is you. And I do think this is you pursuing this. And so if you're wondering, like, are you going to do this? Can you do this? Is this just something you want to do? Like this card tells me, like, obviously you want to do it. We know that this is what you want to do, but yes, I see you actually doing this. Whatever it looks like to do this, I don't know, but you will be doing it. And I think it's just going to click for you one day. Like you're going to wake up or go to bed or whatever, and you're going to have that thought where you're like, I'm doing this. Like, again, it can be whatever wheels you have to put in motion to make this happen. 100% you're ready for this. And the Knight of Swords tells me that things will move pretty quickly for you once you decide to do this. This deeply passionate, insightful kind of like, and when I say spiritual, that doesn't mean whatever your God is or isn't, he, she, they, it is something that for me lifts you up, something that makes you a better person as a result of practicing this. So yes, that can be art, that can be yoga, that can be scripture, that can be teaching, like that can be something divine practice, or something of that world or realm or woo-woo or whatever. But it is good. It's something that makes you feel good, and it imparts good on others as well. So good for you, good for all. I like this, and it's your place. Okay, I want to see what you've been manifesting. So the Three of Wands, freedom. And the Three of Wands is also kind of like a, I feel a bit like a little bit like a contemplation. Again, this is something, there's a little bit of like foresight, planning has gone into this, and there is this freedom. And I think probably that freedom is to do whatever direction you're headed. I think it's something that's somewhat like atypical. It kind of requires you to buck some of the trends that are, generally expected of you, or people your age, or a path you would take. And I think this really is freedom from that. This is very much something that, like, you can do it. You can do it. You can make money doing it. You can have a great life doing it. You can be very happy doing it. But it's a little bit unique. It's a little bit out there. And I think that in some ways it might connect you more to other people and disconnect you from other, like, I think there's going to be a little bit of a both here. Like, some people will appreciate it and respect it and just love you all the more for it. And others might not get it. And they might be intimidated by it, scared by it, overwhelmed, whatever, and then they might kind of fall off a little bit. And who knows, maybe they'll come around later. Like, I know that in reading tarot, even though at this point tarot truly it's just an elaborate hobby for me, but I have read tarot for certain friends and family members that I never thought would ever be open to tarot. And in truth, they wouldn't have been, like, 1 year ago or 5 years ago, and now they're allowing me to read for them. And it's a very, very cool experience when that happens. And I see that in this line of work for you, this direction. So you're probably going to get some converters over time. Okay, let's get a little bit more about what you've kind of been meditating on, whether you realize it or not, and what that looks like. So we've got the Seven of Swords, and we have betrayal. So the Seven of Swords betrayal is a pretty intense word, but I always say that I like the Seven of Swords because it has this kind of like, it is slightly betrayal, but it's more of like the way we think of a fox or like a little bandit, kind of like sneaky. There's this playful sneakiness quality to it. And I have no idea how this ties into what you've been manifesting. I really don't, but there is something that is like, I don't know, maybe this is kind of that, I don't know, maybe it's so totally something you shouldn't be doing. I don't mean it like that, but like, maybe you went to school and you put a lot of time, energy, and money into like being this, and now it's like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. Like, they are worlds apart. This wouldn't have cost me any money to actually pursue, but or time initially. Like, I feel like there's something very, like, you're the bad boy for doing this, but it is fun, and it is a bit of a rush, and it's not a betrayal by any means. It's just kind of like, well, my friends and family can laugh at this, but like, essentially you're not the one laughing, or you're laughing all the way to the bank, or you're laughing all the way to like whatever your happy place is. Like, you're good. And, the rest can just, they can figure it out. But, this is you. And it is kind of like, I feel like a short reading, because I don't really know how to, my point isn't to try to figure out what it is you're doing. I could never do that, but I just get this very strong message that of what kind of a line of work it could be, and how it plays into what you've been doing. So let me see a little bit from Spirit. I want some input from Spirit about this. Let's get we've got this King of Pentacles, and I know that's hard to see, but this is the King of Pentacles here. And this is right next to the Ace of Pentacles, and these are the only pentacles basically, not basically, they're the only pentacles here, but we have a little bit of every, we don't have any water, which is, well, we should get some water. But the King of Pentacles, for input from Spirit, this does go back to like, what you're doing it's not silly. It's not crazy. You know this is going to work. You know you're cut out for this. You know how to do it. And you will do it, and you'll do it very well. And you, like, you've put a lot of thought and direction and purpose behind this. And it is something you've very much, sorry, I don't know where my head is right now. It's here, but it's like, anyway, so I'm very, very happy to see this card come up, because this really is like the pinnacle of the pentacles. And this is a very good sign that, monetarily speaking, you'll be in a good place with this. You will get there. You will make money doing this. So not only will you get to like piss off all the people that, you know, threw you for a loop or whatever, like you will now get to make money as well. So yeah, you're going to enjoy this, and you're finally going to cut free from whatever work you've been tethered to, whatever you've been doing that hasn't really like called you or spoken to you. Like, you're going to find your happy place here, and it's going to actually make you money, and it's what you've wanted, and it's what you couldn't fight it anyway. That's the thing. This wouldn't, like, maybe you have been fighting it, and finally you're like, I can't fight this any longer. But like, this is not for you. This is for you to just run towards, go towards the light, go towards the sun. And there is that message here of like, go towards the light. So, I mean, I don't know if that means anything, but, yeah, it's like a moth to a flame, basically. So I don't know. Okay. Something to do with fire, light, heat, even, illumination. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to get a quote card from Spirit. This is basically her input in a funny little quote card. And we'll see what she has to say about this. And she says, claim your art. So I like this, because although I guess almost any card in this deck would have worked, there is something, this is going to be, I do feel like this is like whatever direction you're going, it's something to do. It does feel artistic. It's either a way of moving your body, a way of teaching something of other people to move their body, a way of like, there's an opening up to this. There's this kind of like, there's this passion piece to this, and it is your art. This is truly your art. And that's why you wouldn't be able to fight it. It's so in you, and there's no turning back from this. I think once you really felt this lit up inside of you, this light inside of you, you couldn't go away from it. So here is this is it. Claim your art. So this is Spirit saying, just freaking go for it. Don't forget the passion piece. Don't forget that this is like your creation, your baby, and this is really what you should be doing. And I don't know if the claim here has anything, like, I get that this is your art and you're pursuing it, but I don't know if claim has any meaning for you as well. Like, maybe you need to be a little stronger in some ways, or stand up for yourself, or like really kind of maybe be a little more aggressive and like establishing your piece of something. I'm not sure, but that is your word from Spirit. And I am going to end this here. It's positive, it's beautiful, it's fairly simple and straightforward, but I do think that this change is coming your way, and you should feel very good about just dropping whatever you're doing and going in on this. Although, but yeah, there is that hastiness piece. So although I don't recommend anyone to just drop everything, I think that you will be moving pretty quickly towards this, and pretty unapologetically, like, all in. So good for you. I envy you for that. And yay, good luck. Okay, let me know how it goes. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Goodbye. Light and Bone Tarot, and thank you so much for being here and for listening to my channel. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. We are doing a reading for a change of career is coming your way. And before I did this, I haven't done the reading yet, but before I turn the camera on, I took two cards. One is from the Untamed Elemental, and then I have another Oracle deck called the Oracle of Mystic Moments, and I'm just trying to kind of gauge a little bit about where this is going. I'm sorry, for one, you picked copper, and I feel like you could just break this apart with your fingers and like crumble it. I don't know, but it's that beautiful. There's something very, very beautiful about this to me. Yeah, the colors, the like design, and it's funny because it almost fits. Usually these cards to me are just an aesthetic and nothing else, but it kind of fits because with this desert card, where you're going or what your career change is. So the desert is like, it's this very tough, very enduring thing. It's, the animals that live in the desert have to kind of, I don't know if they grow thick skins or, most of them have scales, but they can adapt to very extreme temperatures. And I don't know that their lives are very exciting. They're not exploring like depths of the oceans or flying necessarily, but oh my gosh, they see things through, you know what I mean? They stick it out. And I really feel like somehow in your career currently, in your professional path, you've endured. And like this copper that's kind of getting like eroded and eaten away and it's transforming and oxidizing, I just feel like this is kind of you as well. I feel like you've been really like worn down a little bit. I feel like you've been very much, you've endured. And now I really would like to say that it's your time to just come into your own, to do you and be you. And we're going to see a little bit of like what that looks like in the cards. But I get this feeling that you're either just about to leave something that is really, quite frankly, like about to kill you is extreme. But I just feel like you are leaving something extreme, heavy, daunting, that's just kind of eroded you and worn you down. And you are now with this fun card, this Oracle of Mystical Moments. This is Queen Bee, and this is like a card of being in touch with Mother Nature. This is a card of like giving back, of just truly. So if you've been kind of scorched and weathered and unable to probably give anything because literally everything's been kind of just taken from you, I think now you're going to be in a place where you can give and receive, and you can feel like beautiful and healthy and abundant, and there's going to be life around you. And when I say all these things, I mean this really about your job. I just think in general, I think your life is going to take a very fresh and exciting turn, but I really think your work has worn you down. And I'm sure there are people that don't understand this because some people, I think they just do a job and they don't think about it. But I know for myself, if I don't love my job and it's hard on me, it is the most all-consuming thing in the world. I feel like my soul is dying with every minute I stare at my computer or whatever. And whether maybe you didn't hate your job with every fiber of your being, but maybe it was truly, truly taxing, truly hard on you. And, it was just exhausting and draining. And I feel like now you are so ready to step into something else. And we'll find out a little bit about that and back that up. But I just think you've got some life coming your way. Like you are about to get life injected into your life. Okay. Your life is going to be injected with just nature and beauty and abundance. And you've probably earned this. This has probably been a long time coming. And whether that means 20 years or 1 year, like 1 year in a job that's hard on you can feel like 10. So whatever it is, this has been a long time coming. And let's see, I want to see you right now and kind of understand you in the moment. And Queen of Cups. So not so much about work necessarily, but it is that card to tell me like you're coming into this, you're reaching this kind of watery emotional place. You right now, you know what you want and you're ready to go after it, but you know exactly what you feel. Like you are finally sitting with these feelings. I think you're finally addressing the fact that like you want to be happy or something in your current position isn't doing it for you. And this may be a reading just to confirm like, yes, it is time to move on from your job. You have been manifesting or dreaming or wishing that you're doing something else, something different, something better, but something healthier and happier and more that just makes you happy. And I do. It's like, it's time to truly treat yourself and be kind to yourself and love yourself and, take care of yourself. And this is your time. And yeah, again, people who don't know what it's like to feel this way from a job, it's hard to associate maybe, but yeah, you're going to take care of you. And with that, if you have a family, if you have a pet, like anyone living, your plants, like any living thing around you is going to feel the positive effect of this. Like this has such a trickle down when you decide to go after and pursue something you love, or to step away from something that is no longer serving you. And it doesn't mean that you like have a job, putting toxic waste into the earth. Like that doesn't mean that you're doing something horrible, or that the people you work with are demons. Like not at all. It just might be getting to you, and it might be wearing on you. So I don't want to paint the picture of like everything in your life is hell. It's not. You can have a job that you loved so much, and then in just the last few months you're like, I can't do it anymore. Like whatever it is, it doesn't even need to be justified, but you are going to be taking care of yourself with a new career path that's really, really going to serve you. And yeah, and I we had 2 readings before this, and they didn't necessarily speak of anyone hating their current job. And hate's a strong word, but it didn't, the focus wasn't that like you're in something that you have to leave. It was about wanting something new or feeling inspired by something new. But I just feel an overwhelming sense that you are going to leave, and it's going to it really is just going to inject life into you. You're going to feel this weight. You're going to feel alive. You're going to feel like you can hear the birds singing again, the bees buzzing. It's just that like you're going to stop and smell the flowers. Like life is really going to kind of change right in front of you. And that's exciting. I mean, right there, that's huge. I don't have anything on the table to say if you're going to make a dime doing this, but I think you're going to be subliminally happy. So there's that. And with that will come some kind of foundation. So let's get a little bit more. And so the High Priestess, empowerment, and the High Priestess she's this kind of holder of mysteries, of knowledge, of insight. And there's like a slightly psychic piece to this. There's this kind of like, or clairvoyance, you could say, but the High Priestess is very much like all knowing. And I do think there's this part of her, I wouldn't call it selfish, but she serves her. She does she knows exactly what she needs. Let's put it that way. And you are the same. You have this empowerment right now. And it's like this duty to yourself. You are going to do whatever you need to do for you right now. And everyone else in your world will be positively affected by this. But yes, this is your moment. You have reached this through like observation, through your own feelings, your own insight, your own you've my gosh, what's the word where you've worked towards this feeling. It's not hasty. You didn't just wake up and feel this way. This is you knowing with every fiber of your being that this is what you need to do. So good for you. Let's see a little bit more about what's coming up for you. And the Star. And it is funny because, again, I am definitely going to be repeating myself here because it's just what the cards are putting down. But the Star it's wishes. It's wishing on a star. It's happiness. It's that like light in the dark sky. It is that sense of knowing you're on the right path. You're being guided. You're being like, it is everything positive about like clarity and guidance and wishes coming true. And again, I see this for you, and I can't figure it out what's been so hard for you, why, for how long, and what exactly you're going to be going into. I want to start asking some questions about maybe what could be coming your way, because we've already clearly established that you are ready for a change, and I don't even need to harp on how ready you are or to what degree, but I can say that like this change will make you very, very happy. This is like the beginning of the rest of your life in a lot of ways, and that is powerful, and it's a big message, but it is there for you. So let's see, once you have this new time, this new space, this less money, like what are you going to do with yourself? What's in store for you? What are you, and maybe it is something you've been manifesting. So let's see, we've got the Six of Swords, and we've got boundaries, and I'm going to turn one more card over, and the Page of Wands. So the Six of Swords, to me, the Six of Swords is boundaries is one word for it. I mean, it's the word, it's on this card. But to me, the Six of Swords is always, it's like that light at the end of the tunnel. It is very much that card of changing direction, kind of like, I'm going to start looking at things from this angle. It's like that linear thinking, like, I am going to evaluate things differently. I'm going to start thinking this way. I'm going to think outside of the box. It is like sizing a situation up from a different perspective, and then I think taking action differently than you would. So stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something completely different, but truly with a positive outcome. There is like the Six of Swords on classic Rider-Waite-Smith tarot decks is about like going to, like, maybe you have to go through some rocky waters, or I don't know, more treacherous waters, but then there's smooth sailing ahead, and it is a happier place. And boundaries is a word on here that I can't totally understand. I would have to read the card for this deck to understand how they put boundaries on here, but that might mean something to you. And boundaries can mean so many different things in so many different capacities. But this also just further instills to me that where you're going, it will be smoother sailing, and it will be less torment, less rocky, less treacherous, less everything, and just less of an ordeal. And the Page of Wands, in a sense, I really think you're going to get a time when you have this space, this clarity, this openness, this schedule that opens up, whatever it is. It's almost like you're going to have the gift of youth in a way, where you're going to be able to sit and think and like really figure out what you want. You might get to dabble in different things. You might get to explore something creatively. You might get to work out in nature. There is a part of me that could see a nature piece calling to you. And this Queen Bee card kind of sets that off. The desert also has this like nature component to it. And even though this is your past, it makes me think that there was something that drew you to this initially. There was a time, let's say, when you were excited for this career that is now represented in the desert card, the thing that you are now so in need of moving away from. There might still be a part of this, like an iota of this, that you wouldn't mind incorporating. And I feel like that piece could have something to do with nature or the outdoors, or some connected piece of like living things, something with plants or animals, or I don't know, I can't think of anything else living, but like just something like that, where there's this component that kind of brings this happiness to other people. And I just think you're going to get to step into this as a possibility. So that is exciting. And you know, the first reading, there was this relationship card that popped up here almost by accident. But I kind of want to see you in like a headspace, personal space. Like, what does your kind of personal world look like once you do this? And so we have the Page of Cups, and you can't say it, but this is the Page of Cups. This is also, and it's right by the Queen of Cups. Again, it is, and so, okay, we have two page cards. So this is you. You're going to be in your feels in a way that like you're going to allow yourself to feel things that you haven't felt, or that you've had to just kind of like temper. It's almost like you're being given the gift of time all over again. And with that, you are going to get to explore. You're going to get to feel. You're going to get to like just kind of dwell in things in a happy way. And this can absolutely go to relationships. And for some reason, I see a connection here. If there's like, if you have a daughter or a younger child, or any child, like if you're a mother, father, most people I feel like are women watching this, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh my goodness, I hope everyone in the world watches this. But let's say you are a mother, that sense of like mothering, I think you're going to have some time for. And, yeah. And then I didn't even really think about the whole, like, if you are a parent, but perhaps there is a piece of this where you would be leaving a position because you've been kind of pulled away from your family and you haven't been able to spend the time you want. And maybe that's been the sheer torture of it all. Maybe you loved this job until you had your first kid or your second kid or third kid. And now you're like, I need to be with my family. I could absolutely see that piece here. And it's like, so now you're going to jump in and be with your family. And from here, however that works, whatever career path comes your way, I don't know. You may start something on your own. You may do something part-time. You may work remotely. You may just be with your family and love them to pieces all day and not bring money in right now. And I don't mean just, I mean, just is in the simplicity of not actually focusing on working. That was my just piece. But I just see something that brings you just a lot of joy and a lot of health and happiness and peace. And you are going to be leaving whatever that energy was that didn't serve you. So I am going to get now, no more tarot, but I'm going to get a quote card from Spirit. This is her. I ask Spirit for input, and I ask it in the form of these cards with quotes on them, and they're always kind of quirky and off, but let's get her advice. So Spirit's got some advice for you, and this can be, it'll probably mean more to you than me, but let's get her advice for you. And this is become a clear channel. And what this means to me is when you're a clear channel, you're uninterrupted. You're in the present, you are happy, you are vibrating at whatever frequency you need to be vibrating to receive all the goodness, all the clear messages. And there is a thing here about it's I don't want to say clairvoyance necessarily, but it could be. There could be this maybe you do have a gift of psychic power or clairvoyance, and you've really been blocking that. Maybe you really enjoyed I don't know, there's a lot of things we can do in the form of meditation. We can get visions. We can kind of, we can astral, we can take astral journeys. We can travel with our spirit animals. There's these things we can do that might seem out there, but if you know what I'm talking about, you enjoy it, and they speak to you and they guide you and they make you very happy to do these things, and they give you insight. And it is hard to do these things if you're blocked or you're angry or you're stressed or if you're just too tired or too overwhelmed. And I feel like this become a clear channel is very much get back to you, and whatever that is, whatever your true essence is, find your high vibration, find your clear headspace, get back to that clear headspace and meditate, stretch, visualize, whatever it is, write, journal. There's something that you did before that really brought you back and grounded you. And by grounding, I mean just connected you to the earth and to spirit, and kept you very happy. And it's probably good for you. It's probably good for your family. And that can be a bunch of people. It can be just plants, pets. It can be a snake that lives in your yard. It can be anything, but there's something you need to do to get back to that. So, this is your really sweet and very positive reading, and I hope you liked it. I hope it speaks to you, and I hope you're very happy in very shortly from this. So good luck with this, and if you have a message for me, please comment or subscribe, whatever feels good. I would love to hear it. So thank you so much, and goodbye, Bone Tarot, and thank you so much for being to my channel and for letting me read for you. It just means everything. So thank you very much. We are doing a reading today for a change in career is coming your way. And we are going to just talk a little bit about what that looks like. And yes, you picked pile 4. This is Jet. And this is a new crystal deck for me. I'm not familiar with Jet, but there is something so beautiful about this. It looks like snakeskin to me. I just, it's one of my favorites. It's metallic. Oh, I love these crystal cards. I wish I had one for a real crystal. Anyway, okay. Okay, so I've picked 2 cards here to kind of set the stage or the tone for this reading. And I got Mountain and I got Butterfly Garden. And I'll be honest, I can't right now from these 2 cards kind of gauge where this is going. But I will say Mountain to me, it's obviously it's this higher plane of understanding. It's this, people would go to mountains to gain just not only a new vantage point, literally, but, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm losing my mind. Figuratively and literally. Okay, I'm back. So you might be going to school. There's a part of me that thinks you could be pursuing a higher education, but then also with Mountain, there's this part about structure and growth and ascending and climbing up. And there's definitely this either you're going to school, you're studying more, or you're like truly climbing this corporate ladder, for a very generic term, but there is something about that. However, the butterfly garden, to me, this is a card of being very happy and very much at peace and very much seeing beauty in things. So whatever you're doing, I don't feel like you are unhappy or you are changing your career out of like, you're not in this loathsome position where you hate what you're doing or you just can't tolerate it. I think you want to enhance it. You want to make it, you want to do more with it. And it's encouraging because I can tell you the 3 readings before this didn't take on this energy, but I really like that that's what I feel about this. There's something about this that makes me think you're quite happy and you want to do more. And also with Mountain, there is an element of like structure and alignment. And I mean, this could make me think of like someone who's in a medical field or who helps people with like their body, their structure, chiropractic, yoga, Pilates, dance, movement, like something. Yeah, and this is, you like what you're doing. You're happy. There's beauty in this. There's goodness. There's this sense of like calm. And I don't think you want to bolt or run. You just want to do it better and more. And I'm sure you want to make more money and get some, success or clout or whatever doing what you do. And I absolutely think that's coming your way. But excuse me, I think you like the industry you're in, and you very might well love your company or your people or your job or your role. Oh my gosh, excuse me. So let's see you. I think this is going to be an interesting reading because it already feels different, and I love that. So let me get you right now. So King of Cups. This is someone who knows what they want. The cups are emotions, and so with this water, it's a water card, and water is yin. You allow things to come to you. You receive, and I think by receiving things, you allow yourself to feel things. So like you are feeling a lot. You are at a point where you're very much like contemplating, you're understanding, you're seeing things clearly, and you're just very much in touch with what serves you, probably what serves the people around you. But I do think that wherever you are on this thought about your career and your path, you're getting there through a very clear message of you've been feeling things. Okay, you know what you're doing. This isn't. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think I've already said it. That you know what you want, okay? You're not abandoning ship, and you're not like, I'm ready to do the first thing that feels good, or I'm sick of what I'm doing and I just want to do anything other than this. Like, no, you've been sitting with this for a while, and there's a lot of, it's funny because these cards to me there's something similar. There's something just in this like upward momentum, this kind of pyramid-esque structure. There's a clarity here, and almost the way that this king takes on this meditative state. This is you've thought on this, like this. It's not hasty. This is, and it's a big deal for you. And that's also too with the King of Cups. Like this is something you've put a lot of thought into. I think a lot of time, a lot of caring, a lot of contemplation. Like this is your move. So I want to see a little bit more about you because it is interesting. Okay, and then we have the Page of Cups, which is lovely, a compliment and ever so slight contradiction at the same time, but still water, still yin, still taking things in, still being kind of like molded and shaped by this thing that is bigger than you. And this thing that is bigger than you is your current career path. It is your path. It is your journey. It is your space. It's what you do. And I do think you help people. You do something that improves people's lives in some way. But I think from a physical standpoint, I think a lot of you physically help people. And I don't know. I think you're still inspired by what you're doing. This tells me I think on the daily, you find true inspiration in this. And it is that playfulness is the word on this card, but with that, it's like you're still finding energy in this line of work. It excites you still, and you're still seeing new things, and it reminds you of, it doesn't feel like work. In other words, your work doesn't feel like work. You truly love it. And we're going to have to figure out, like, you're here because you know you love your job. You don't need me to tell you that. But if there's a career change coming your way, I think I want to find out like what you're thinking of doing. And it could be starting your own practice in what you're doing, or I don't know, climbing up to like higher ranks within the company you're in. I'm not sure, but it involves not bolting. There's something very much sticking with what you're doing. So let's get a little bit more about that. Okay, so Page of Swords. I do see like a new start in the Page of Swords, and a new start meaning like maybe a new position within this like kind of realm. And it could be like a higher position. It just could be a different one, like something that would require a little more studying, a little more application of like your knowledge base, but within the same capacity, like, I don't know, entity capacity. But I see there being a new start of sorts, and the Page of Swords it is vigilance. Okay, sure. But it's also, it's like that passion where you're like, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to figure out exactly what I need and what serves me and what I want. And there is definitely a creativity to this, but there's this fire, there's this drive. The swords are action, they're doing. And this is kind of like right now you know where you need to be, okay? And you know that where you are, it serves you, it makes you happy, it gives you life, it makes people around you feel better. And now you have to kind of figure out, what is this new direction within this same like entity? So this is your mission now, to figure this out. And my gut tells me it's more of what you're doing. It's a higher level, a deeper level, and it still could be school. Like there's nothing to make me think you aren't going into a way of like studying, or even if it's like a course that could just enhance where you're at, or give a deeper knowledge, or like a new like certification of sorts, a new license, but something along those lines is coming your way. And this always brings more. It brings more everything, more satisfaction, more money, more, more opportunity, more growth. So there's definitely more coming your way, but I really feel strongly that you are very happy where you are. And there's something about this that it's very calming. That's my dog. She always comes in when I read, and it's sweet, but it is noisy. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little bit more. I just want to see what you've maybe been manifesting. And so we've got the World, and these are your manifestations, and the Hierophant, 2 major cards, which is always fun to see. So the World, to me, it's kind of karmic. It's this things coming full circle. It's this cycle. And I like the World card for being this wheel, this sense of like, we get what we give. Where are you in this space? But the World to me for this reading means that there is this kind of almost like you're ready to do another evolution of this. Like you've done one like iteration, and now you're going to go into the second, and it's your next turn. And then after that, there'll be another turn. But I really think you've completed like one chapter in one capacity of this career that you find yourself in. And it really is time for that next chapter. And I think you'll take it to new levels. You'll impart new ideas, new ways of doing things, new techniques. But I really think this is you're needed in this space, and you're going to continue on in this space, and you're going to do very well. And the Hierophant is this is knowledge. This is learning. This is allowing someone to mentor you. This is taking on new aspects of learning or growth. But the word here is knowledge. And in general, the Hierophant it's anything from like a scholarly situation, from a mentor situation, just from a pure like input and guidance. And I really did feel something about school, but again, it could be like a certification, or just a way of applying more and getting more out of what you already love, and how you can up that a little bit. And maybe you haven't really necessarily thought about this. Maybe you're here because you love your job, but things, perhaps they're stagnant. Like it doesn't mean that things, maybe they've been kind of still and steady, and there's more. And this would be like that green light to be like, well, start thinking about more. Start thinking about different ways you can kind of diversify within this, like, this space that you really love, or if it's a company that you don't want to leave, like, start thinking of how you can apply yourself in different ways with everything you've learned and done, and how you can take that to like a new height, or, you know, a new account, a new client, a new division, a new team, a new challenge, and new technology, whatever. But there's definitely a little bit more here for you. And there is, I see more, but I don't actually see you really going anywhere, in the sense that, and by not going anywhere, I don't mean not climbing and not succeeding. You're absolutely growing. And hence that's completely like the mountain. The mountain is all about like growth and ascension, but I don't see you like jumping ship, is what I mean. You're really, you're here and you're doing it, and you're enjoying this ride that you're on. However, there is going to be a new cycle, so get ready for that. But this is what you want. This is what you need. And, yeah. And okay, I want to see you in the near future. I'm going to, like, professionally speaking, or just in general. Okay. So we have strength, and the strength card it can be anything from like dominance in a very positive way, courage. I think like the, confidence, just that ability to like mold and shape and really control, but in the most beautiful way. Like it's helping, right? It's assisting. It's doing something for someone that needs you to do something for them. And I really like strength for you here in this sense of like, you are the leader, you are the master. This is your domain, and you now are being called upon, or you're going to call upon yourself to kind of level up. And this is what's happening with you. And it takes courage. It takes a little bit of like, there's a mastery going on here. There is a strength, a confidence, and you've got that. And this is all you. It's basically just like, you've got this. And I really, you know, when I see something that's like so clear and positive, and just there's something so fluid and beautiful about this, like, I'm sure other parts of your life have to be clicking, or absolutely will click once you kind of come into this stride, because you're happy, you like the work you're doing, it serves you, and there's something, you're just going to be doing it like you're literally you're going to take it up a notch. And with that comes all the other things that you've wanted more of. So, and I think you do want more responsibility. I think you do want more challenge. You want more, but, and you want to learn more. You want to know more. You want to show people and like prove yourself. And, I don't know what industry you're in, but whatever it is, I do think you're helping people. And I do get this kind of like touch, like you help people through an actual like application of Lottie, no, like there's a touch there. And this could be like even the touch, like yoga, Pilates, like a helping of like a shaping, or kind of like just providing some kind of structure. I guess that's what I mean by touch. Like you're helping with form and structure, and it's good, and it's really just your place. So I feel funny ending the reading here, but I get this very positive and beautiful and just fluid, like clear message for you. So I'm going to end it with a quote card from Spirit, and this is her input. These cards have like captions on them and quotes, and I like to ask for Spirit's just guidance towards you, or input from Spirit, and we'll see if it means anything at this moment, but like take it with you and see how it transpires for you. So go for your dreams. And this is, there's only one card in here that says go for your dreams. They say a lot of things. So this isn't like a deck about how to pursue your dream job. It is a very like apropos message. And I guess I actually think you have a pretty clear idea of like what this path would look like. Like I think you've kind of in your head almost given it the structure where you're like, okay, I do this, I study this, I apply for this, I achieve this, and then I can apply that here, and then I can go for this. Like, I just think they're kind of like these levels of accomplishments and applications of sorts that you're doing to kind of build up these tiers. And I see that in the mountain. The mountain is like, it's this, this stacking of rocks and earth and minerals. And I just feel like they're layers basically to what you're doing, and you're just going to keep growing and going with it. And and it is exciting, and it is what you want to do, and it does make you happy, and it does feel like you're pursuing your dreams. And although there's something like, I don't want to say anticlimactic, because I still feel like there's an investment of time. This isn't like the other readings where it's like, oh my gosh, you need to leave your job, you're not happy, and on the horizon is this. Like, no, this is you just like, you're growing, you're advancing, you are going through the motions, and you're probably a very like balanced person. You're probably very determined, very analytical, very balanced, very just very together. But yet I love that I see this water here for you. And although, are we lacking a pentacle card here, which is so interesting, because you seem like someone who would have all the pentacles pop up, like, because the pentacles are so grounded, they're so like deeply entrenched in this like they're methodical, and they're consistent, and they're like cyclical. But I feel like for you, you do have this emotional piece, and you're doing what you love. And I think this is why you're so like well-rounded right now, because you are absolutely doing what you love, and it feels like heaven. And there is growth for you here. There is advancement, and you're pursuing that. So in whatever capacity it takes, but I do see you having to study something in one way or another to kind of advance. And this is the right move. This is what you should be doing. Okay. I hope you liked this reading. I would love to hear any comment or input if you did. And, I hope to see you again for another reading soon. Thank you so much. Goodbye.